Virginia. I will do my best to run through as many of the details as I can during these remarks, but if not, just find me afterwards, or you can send me an email. So I am Elizabeth Etherton, as Virginia said, and in addition to my work with the Helios Alliance, I've worked in and around the opioid litigation for years, and before that, I served as a public health advisor to 2 federal agencies and the chief of staff for a multinational organization. And the reason I tell you that is that I know quite a bit about logistics and managing complex processes, which is why I'm here in front of you today. We are here to specifically discuss the first award and distribution process of the $2.2 million in opioid settlement funds that have been received to date by the city of Mobile. As mentioned, we'll be running this RFP process within the 4 priority areas. That doesn't mean that you can't submit a program that hits 2 of these. These are the areas, though, that are both approved settlement uses and is one that have been indicated as best practices by the experts we work with around the country. The request for proposals window will open tomorrow, September 5th, and it will be housed on the Helios Alliance website under a tab titled Abatement Award Allocation. We will also email a link to the RFP to all of you who have signed in today. So please make sure that you've signed in at the table in the back before you leave, and the City of Mobile will share it through their channels as well. The RFP submission window will end on Friday, October 18th at 5 p.m. The RFP submission will be done via an online form, which will be linked in all of those places I mentioned a moment ago, and there will be character limits on some of the answers. We will also post a Word document on our website that you can download so that you can plan your answers in advance of the form submission. But as a reminder, we will only accept responses via the form for consideration. After all of the applications are turned in, they will be scrubbed of identifying details by me and another member of the Helios team. We are committed to a blind application process, as we feel that this is the most fair and equitable way to distribute these funds. These applications that have been scrubbed of identifying details will then be shared with our evaluation committee, which will consist of local subject matter experts in each of the 4 priority areas, as well as appropriate representatives from nonprofits and local business leaders. The evaluation committee will be chaired by a member of the Helios Alliance leadership team in a non-voting role. During the evaluation period, other members of the Helios team will be conducting site visits and interviews as needed and as appropriate. The notes and follow-up from those visits and conversations will be similarly anonymized and appended to the original applications for consideration by the evaluation committee. Each program will also be evaluated and input into the simulation platform by our modeling team, so that we can see the best combination of programs and use of funds in advance of any funding decision. Obviously, that information will be provided to the evaluation committee during their decision-making process. It is a key to both the Helios methodology and the agreement that we have with the City of Mobile. We plan to have our recommendations ready for the City Council to consider by mid-December 2024. I've already gotten a few questions in advance of this meeting today, so I wanted to go ahead and preemptively answer those. But as I said, find me after this program if you have additional questions. You can also email cityofmobile@theheliosalliance.com with any questions, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Additionally, we will be posting the answers that I'm about to tell you, as well as any other frequently asked questions and their answers on the website as they come in. First, submissions are open to any interested party, and awards are not limited to nonprofits. Second, we would like to encourage cooperation between like-minded organizations, especially when developing innovative approaches. Submitting organizations do not have to be located within city limits, but the services provided will need to directly benefit the residents of the city. In order to prioritize direct impact, we discourage the inclusion of indirect cost in your program request. And finally, as of this moment, we are not sure exactly how the money will be divided between the 4 priority areas. That will be dependent on both the variety of the proposals that we receive and the outputs of the simulation model. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Rayford to close us today, and thank you all for coming, and let me know if you have any additional questions.